Hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. Check out my man Sveria's channel. Very esoteric. I especially enjoy his interviews with former vegans. Anyway, we'll play one of his video compilations, Herbivores Eating Meat, as I talk about what it is I want to talk about. So, on my last video, where I talked about my strength increase ever since I started eating a carnivore diet, I had gotten some questions that I will attempt to address at least partially, at least for the time being. And in order to do that, I think I should start from the beginning, which is why I started eating this way and what it means to me to be eating a carnivore diet. So why? Well, as all of us, no doubt, I would once in a while experience stomach problems and everything else that comes with that when I would eat after I ate. So I wanted to remedy that, and I figured I'd do it by an elimination diet, while at the same time starting to also add foods back to the diet to try to nail down what it is that's causing me problems. So why did I choose to eliminate plants or plant-based foods instead of animal products? Well, the answer is very simple. As we all learned in elementary school biology, plant cells are not structured the same as animal cells. And when we eat, what we do is we try to convert exogenous cells that come from outside of our body, into cells that are our body, right? We use plant or animal foods, products, to rebuild and grow our bodies, right? Now, bioavailability is no doubt a very important concept when it comes to this. So if you have the ability to digest both plant and animal foods, it makes perfect sense to consider animal products as the best kind of foods for you, right? It's just logic. If you don't understand this basic logic, then you're just a lost soul, period. Now, obviously, if we didn't have the ability to digest meat or animal products, that would no longer be the case. But even animals that are specialized to eat plants, like goats, will once in a while eat meat or other animal products. Probably because of mineral deficiencies, or they recognize that they need these animal cells in their bodies, and that they do a body good, if only once in a while. So that's why I chose animal products instead of plants. But another reason is that I noticed something after our AM staff gave birth to a bunch of puppies. We gave one puppy to our neighbor, and after maybe about a year, I went to visit the puppy, and I noticed that the dog was very slender. It had a small head, long nose, and it was just kind of small compared to our dog. Now, our dog, or that dog's brother, was roughly twice the size of that dog, had a big, well-developed head, a strong white jaw, big shoulders, and overall very, very impressive muscle mass. Very beautiful specimen, right? And the difference between these two dogs, even though they had the same genetics more or less, was that their dog ate a standard dog diet, whatever dogs eat, right? It wasn't starving or anything. It wasn't, you couldn't see its ribs or anything like that. So it was fed, but it wasn't well fed because it was eating, table scraps and, well, dog food. Our dog was raised on a diet that consisted of roughly 3/4 raw meat and some eggs and things like that. So right then and there, I noticed the benefits of eating meat. I mean, these two dogs, they don't even look like the same species almost. They for damn sure don't look like brothers. So it kind of blew my mind seeing that. And I recognized the value of meat. Another reason why is that, well, we're farmers. And if you want to grow your food organically and sustainably, you cannot have a farm without animals. Now, you could have that kind of a farm, but you're going to be bringing in animal manure from somebody else, right? So because a sustainable organic farm is a self-containing ecosystem, you cannot take animals out of that ecosystem and hope to be successful. So we realized that, well, we knew this before we even started, but what we realized as we were doing this is that in our setting, because we have a lot of land that's not very fertile, it actually makes a lot of sense to rely primarily on animal husbandry, and growing plants for food is a secondary concern. Not that important, really, to be honest with you. So because the ultimate goal is to be completely self-sufficient, and it makes a lot more sense, it's a lot more efficient, it's a lot easier, it's a lot more environmentally friendly for us to raise animals than grow some kind of monocrop or even short cycle garden of veggies, right? Another problem here is that there is, because we never get a winter, right, and the freeze doesn't kill a lot of the bacteria, microbes, and with that, bugs. There are a ton of pests here. So trying to grow an organic garden where we are, you're going to be busting your ass, and you're going to be creating a product that's, 10 cents a pound and doesn't contain complete nutrition. So you're going to have to grow a great variety of different products. Or you could grow a product that's anywhere between, $4 to $10 a pound, and nutritionally complete. Okay? So it just makes sense for us to rely primarily on animal agriculture. But obviously we do both because we have to grow pasture, right? So it's a self-contained ecosystem. Anyway, so those are the reasons why. As far as what it means for me to be a carnivore or to eat a carnivorous diet, I don't even really like that term, because it gives people this impression that you eat only meat. When in reality, at least for me, meat probably accounts for 35% of my calories. Okay? I eat not just muscle meat, but organ meat. I eat eggs, dairy, all the different forms thereof. Duck eggs, chicken eggs, right? Ducks, chickens. My neighbor has pigs, so I get, pig meat and organs. I also get lard from them. I eat a ton of lard. I probably eat 2 pounds of lard a week. maybe not quite that much, because I also eat a shit ton of butter. So that's basically it. Eggs, dairy, and meat, but not just muscle meat. I think it's very important to also eat organ meats, because those are actually more nutritious. Now, I do cook most of my food. I will eat raw meat, raw eggs sometimes, but in general, I tend to pan sear and undercook stuff. So everything I eat is at least partially raw. So that's why I eat what I eat, and that's what I eat, and why I don't like this term carnivore, because, well, carne in Spanish means meat, and it's actually a lot more than that. Now, as far as some of the questions that I have been asked, they had to do with the ketogenic diet. Now, when I started eating this way, I had no clue what a ketogenic diet was, but soon enough I found out that I was actually eating a ketogenic diet because of how much fat I would consume. Now, a little anecdote: when I was taking an anthropology class at the university in Chicago many years ago, and I will never forget this, best professor I ever had, some lecture where she was talking about the cavemen. She stressed the importance of fat and how nutritious fat is and how good it was for us to eat fat. And she just kept talking about fat, and how it's crazy that people are so scared of eating fat when fat is basically what made us who we are today. So that always stuck with me, and when I decided to eat this way, I just figured I'm going to eat a lot of fat because it makes a lot of sense, right? So I thought. And then, because I was eating a lot of fat with my protein, it didn't take long for me to go into ketosis. Now, I don't measure my ketone levels and I don't do any of that stuff because, frankly, I don't care. It was never about a ketogenic diet, but that just kind of became my reality as a result of just what I eat, right? And I don't think I'm always in ketosis. I think sometimes I'm just fat adapted, as people would say, that my ketone levels might not be past that threshold of what it means to be in ketosis. I'm not sure, and I don't care. But I don't eat any carbs generally, and I eat a lot of fat, so I'm definitely at least sometimes or most of the time in ketosis. And because of the changes that I noticed in my body, and then after I researched ketosis and people that are on the ketogenic diet, I realized that I must be in ketosis because I have the same symptoms that people who consciously go on a ketogenic diet. So this is why I started doing what I've been doing. Now you know what that looks like exactly. And I eat twice a day. I'll have breakfast, which generally consists of eggs, cheese, butter, maybe a little bit of meat here and there. Like I had bacon for breakfast this morning. And then I just eat dinner, where I have my meat, maybe an egg or two, maybe some cheese. And that's basically it so far as the ketogenic diet, the carnivorous diet goes. So that's that. One last thing I wanted to add, and this is just something that I believe. I believe that at some point during our existence on this planet, we were all put on the diet, and that happened with the advent of agriculture. And even though that has allowed our population to explode, what basically happened is the king, who always ate meat and told you you can't hunt in his forest, was looking to basically have more slaves that weren't quite as strong or aggressive, or, that had lower testosterone, they were more docile, and were basically more like goats than, say, wolves. But that's just my opinion. That's just how I look at it. And I will continue this series of videos talking to you guys about some of the changes that I've noticed in my body since starting to eat this way, and all this other stuff that comes with it. Hope you like this video. Check out Sferia's channel if you're interested in an even more esoteric approach to this. A look at the carnivore diet. And yeah, to be continued. Thanks for watching and listening. I am out.